In 325 AD, Constantine assembled every bishop of the Christian world in a single room at Nicaea and discovered, to his mounting horror, that he had not convened a council. He had introduced a collection of blind elephants to each other in the dark. Each had been moving through its own space for 3 centuries, accumulating mass, developing its own geography of certainty. They had never needed to agree, because they had never needed to share a room. Now they did. And what looked from outside like a theological debate was the first violent contact between communication systems so large, so separately grown, so convinced of their own internal consistency, that the collision produced not resolution, but a new and more complex darkness. The question on the table was one Greek letter: homoousios, same substance; homoousios, similar substance, one iota of difference. But the iota was not the problem. Each position had 3 centuries of accumulated weight behind it. Alexandria had built its entire theological architecture around one answer, Antioch another, Rome another. Each bishop had spent his career depositing into a local system of meaning, sermons, liturgies, the trust of communities, the authority of teachers now dead. That capital did not belong to him, it belonged to the system. He could not revise it in a week because an emperor wanted consensus. When we try to audit a communicative system, the first instinct is to map its logical neighborhood, to see how it is fixed by reciprocal constraint, how much it excludes, what conceptual work it shares with neighboring ideas. But beneath the logical structure, the system moves according to forces the logic cannot see. What looks like a theological argument is also a conflict between modes of life. Alexandria's cosmopolitan intellectual tradition against Egypt's monastic communities, the Greek East against the Latin West. The concepts are symptoms. The elephants are the modes of life that carry them, that need adjustment to each other, and cannot simply revise their logical neighborhoods, because the neighborhoods are not what is actually in contact. Constantine was reading the iota. The elephants were reading each other. Constantine got his vote. Homoousios won. Arius was exiled. The elephant kept moving. The Visigoths who sacked Rome in 410 AD were Arian Christians, the theological losers of Nicaea, their position carried not by argument, but by accumulated mass that no council vote could dissolve. The consequence arrived 85 years later in a different city, through a mechanism nobody at the council would have recognized as connected to their vote. The wrong clock again, but longer. Communication capital doesn't optimize, it accumulates. It moves by its own mass through its own history, making contact with other systems not because anyone planned the contact, but because the room got smaller. Constantine didn't create the collision at Nicaea, he just built the room. Nobody is lying, nobody is steering. The conflicts look theological, political, ideological, and they are all of those things. But underneath, they are modes of life finding each other in the dark, colliding, adjusting, moving on. The work was always invisible. So was its undoing.